Hey, some friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm symptomistic, like optimistic, but make it Sims. And this is episode 7 of Generation 1 of the Barbie Legacy Challenge. And listen, I know I shared the cast video of Barbie Gen 2, but I do think I need some time to like wrap this up. I feel like the family is, aging up. It's just a lot going on. And so we are still wrapping it up. As you can see, Barbie and Nikki are still kids. So, this is a little bit of a time warp. I'm sorry, y'all, if that's confusing. But, I had some of this footage and I wanted to like put it together. So you'll see Nikki aging up in this video. And, a lot is going on. This is really like a catch up. I'm not too focused on the day to day of the family because, I'm trying to move on past this. A lot of stuff I'm doing off camera. We are, I've shown Barbie getting her exercise, getting promoted as a Girl Scout or a Scout. I think they're just called the Scouts. I guess there's no gender to the Scouts. And, the dad of the family, he has a side hustle because, they're still struggling with money. As you can see, their money is very low. The little twins, the boys, are aging up. Mommy Barbie is still getting in her fitness. So it's a lot of moving pieces. This family is very busy and it is hard to concentrate on Barbie Jr. at this point. So I think that new series will officially start when she moves out because there's way too many people in this house, still too many goals to achieve before we completely move on. And, I did want to share that Barbie Jr. created her child aspiration, which Nikki will complete her child's aspiration, but a lot of the kids, I think all the kids have to sorry, I keep saying create, have to complete one aspiration in childhood in order for Barbie, the mom, to complete her goals. So there's so many goals in this generation, and it's really like a grind, to be honest. It's helpful because I can kind of come home and relax and play a little bit off camera, and when I'm sleepy I can play. So that's nice that it's kind of like it's some like cozy gaming going on and not just storytelling. But sometimes it's like I just want to give y'all a video and I don't have nothing to give y'all a video because the Sims are poor, the Sims have goals, like the Sims aren't really going out, but we got a little bit of that in this video. So I am currently just updating Barbie Jr.'s traits. So she is becoming observant. I love to do this as the Sims age up, and Barbie Jr. was about to age up anyway after she completed her aspiration. So I figured, why not give her some good traits? So Barbie is like going to be a very smart teen, a very smart adult, and she's just getting ahead of the next goal, which, if you are not familiar with the Barbie challenge, the link is in the description. But for the second generation, it's business Barbie, and that Barbie wants to be really wealthy. And so Barbie Jr. is going to start that early, and hopefully it's not as much of a grind as motherhood and housewifery has been for her mom. I hope this is like an easier grind for Barbie Jr. I think it will be because I feel like making money in The Sims is a little easier, but I think what's making this legacy a little complicated is that like I have my own restrictions. So the challenge does not say that Barbie cannot have a job. It doesn't say that. It just says housewife Barbie. And I took that very literally, and I wanted it to be like kind of realistic. I wanted to tell that story. So that means there's extra restrictions. Like I've seen people play this in other other YouTube channels, and their Sims have had their Barbie Sims have had jobs as well, and they still struggled. So I know I'm making it hard on myself, but I like to tell my stories how I want to tell the stories. And so hopefully I do not keep making it hard on myself. But I also want to show this little fun family moment because these Sims don't get too many of these. This is like the first snow, and they're having a little snow fight. And I just really want to show that first moment of them actually being outside and not being in the same old house, because I'm tired of this house. I know they tired of this house, but they do what they have to do. And then this is just the twins actually aging up. So if you have not seen the Barbie cast, where I talk a lot more about what Barbie Jr. is going to be like, click the link in the description. It'll take you to the series and you'll be able to see that. And I will show here Nikki's makeover, because Nikki is not going to be, well, I guess she'll be in the LP because she is Barbie's sister, but she won't be like, I don't know if they'll be living together. I haven't decided that yet. If you have opinions on that, let me know in the comments. But I really want to focus on Barbie Jr. when I start the next LP. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen to Nikki and Ken and Alan and all these children, but I'm sure they'll make appearances. And so yeah, I'm just adding their traits. I made Barbie a genius, which was not a necessary trait for the next generation, but I just thought it fit. I made her materialistic, which I can't remember if it's a trait. I'm gonna pause this and I'm gonna double check. Yeah, so genius and materialistic are not part of these traits. I was going back and forth about ambition. Ambitious is the only trait that Barbie Jr. or Gen 2 has to have for this legacy challenge. And I decided to hold off on that until Barbie Jr. was an adult, because I feel like Barbie Jr. is already stressed enough. She don't need that kind of pressure. I think she's already ambitious, but I just did not want, you see me going back, I keep scrolling, going back and forth, but I really did not want that extra pressure on Barbie Jr. as a teen. I think the teen years are really gonna be when Barbie is like fully, I think she's like a little materialistic now. Like, she's, even though she doesn't have these things, she's like, I wish I could have certain things. And she's starting to notice that like her lifestyle is not like the kids in her class. So I think this is really when she kind of becomes like, oh, I cannot be poor. Like, I just have to, whatever I do, like, this can't be. And even though it's like on the outside, these Sims, I guess in some ways, they appear poor because they don't change their clothes very much. Like, they don't go many places, but like, they live in a nice neighborhood with a nice house. Like, outside looking in, like, they live decently. Like, they have what they need. They just don't have any extras. But to Barbie Jr., this is poor because she can't like go do certain things. And I think she really becomes like hardened in that, like, oh, I do not want to live like my childhood. I do not want to grow up to be like my mom. They do have some traits that are similar, but we'll see more of that later. But yeah, Barbie is just like, I'm not with this. And Nikki, we're still kind of figuring out what Nikki is into. You'll see Nikki is like a little more helpful around the house, uh, a little more domestic than I would say Barbie Jr. is. But yeah, we'll see. We're still figuring out Nikki. Let me know if you notice anything as you watch in the comments. So I randomized Nikki's traits because I'm trying not to stress these other Sims because this legacy is already enough. So Nikki is a loner, which I don't know how accurate that is, but she's also a genius. So I think that is great. They are, I randomly decided to give her the programming aspiration. I don't know, y'all. I just was like trying to give Nikki something. I don't know Nikki that well, and I like don't want to spend all the time developing these other Sims. But I'm gonna give Nikki a fly makeover. I do know that. And because I like want my Sims to look aesthetic. Also, the Sims, Nikki and Barbie, have started to make friends, but because they can't really go out with them, it's a lot of talking on the phone. I'm not making their friends over yet. I will probably when they age up to adults. So like once I see like, oh, this is really their fave friend, like or the like, their top 8 on MySpace, maybe I'll just like update those particular Sims. But yeah, Nikki, I wanted to make less buttoned up, less, maybe like a little more eccentric, because I always kind of do my Sims like the opposite of the main character. So if the main character is like very responsible and on top of things, or like following the rules, I make the other sibling a little different. Now, I will say Barbie, I wouldn't consider her 100% rule follower. I think she's a rule follower if she thinks it'll mean she'll get money. And I think at this time, these Sims are planning to try to go to college. They do know that, like, scholarships, they would need a scholarship, they would need help because, like, their family doesn't have money. So I do think that will be a factor in this story, um, of whether they go to college or not. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I decided I'm just like picking through some new hairs that I downloaded. I did some CC shopping. And I also am trying to make Nikki looks slightly different, even though they're twins. I like don't really like when my Sims are identical. I don't really enjoy that. I am gonna give Nikki a slightly rounder face. I think you see it a little bit now, but I fixed it a little more. I just want some difference, and I feel like that's like the easiest tweak to make to my Sims without making them look totally different. I did want to stick with their genetics and not make them look like they're not even related to their parents. So I just did like a slight difference. I do, now that they've aged up, I do think they look more like Barbie. Like they might, yeah, I think they look mostly like Barbie. I don't really see Cameron as much in their look. But yeah, I also think Nikki doesn't wear as much pink because she's not Barbie. So I tried to like give her something that is different than, what her mom would want to wear and what Barbie Jr. I think Barbie Jr. might actually be more into pink than Barbie Gen 1. But yeah, I think Nikki is a little more playful in her style. Also, the more I do create a sim, the more I cut down on the outfits that I make, because it's, especially these sims, since they're in the house, it's really not realistic to make all these different outfits and you never see them doing these things. So I think I do make a workout outfit, but I'm realizing Nikki worked like exercised as a kid, but I don't know if she works out as an adult. Like, honestly, with the twins, these teens are like homework, help around the house, maybe some free time. And then and with their free time, they try to use it like doing something that they like. And so, yeah, exercise isn't at the top of their mind, or at least not at the top of Nikki's mind. I think Barbie might be more interested in exercise just because she cares a lot about appearance, and I think it just feels more natural to her. So I think for the same reason her mom kind of cares about appearance, Barbie Jr. cares about appearance as well. I think it's less about being a housewife, more just like, unfortunately people, there is like some fat phobia. And so I think Barbie Jr. is more into exercise for that reason. But I feel like Nikki does not really think about that. I think she's just like, there's so much to do, whatever free time I have, I want to like chill in front of the computer. And now that I think about it, that's actually why I gave her the aspiration of programming, because she does like to be at the computer a lot more than the other Sims. They do have a TV, and books, like they have other things that they could be doing for fun. And, they go outside for a walk. Well, it's actually been winter for a long time in my games. Like, I feel like this is like the longest winter ever. But whatever. But yeah, that was her first outfit. So as you can see, I feel like it's kind of cool, girl. Like she's chilling. Like it looks like she didn't try too hard, but she looks nice. And I feel like that fits Nikki. Like I feel like she's not really a try hard besides like getting good grades, because that's what her mom wants her to do, because that is how Gen 1 feels their legacy. All their kids have to get A's. Now I feel like I kind of found a loophole, And it says that all of the children of Barbie must max out their grades. But it doesn't say they have to keep them maxed out. I mean, all these kids are still getting A's. I'm just saying, like, I think if they fell back and had some other stuff to do, you could still complete the challenge. You know, I'm always trying to find little loopholes for the challenge. And so yeah, I think, you know, I wanted everything Nikki had to be kind of like cool girl. Like I'm cute, but you know, I didn't overthink this, opposite of her sister. And I really loved this gym outfit that I gave her, even though I realized I have not seen her in it. So hopefully when it gets warm, they'll go outside and work out because they're definitely not going to the gym because they can't afford the gym. But I have not used this combination of things, and I just thought it was a fun little workout outfit. Now I have seen on Tumblr. I am on Tumblr, but I don't post because there's just not enough time to do these videos and post and then actually live IRL. So I do not post, but I have seen that there's some new workout gear, and I think I will be getting that as soon as I can. I feel like Tumblr is like, or at least Sims Tumblr, I'm like, I love to do that like as I'm relaxing and like getting sleepy and I don't really have energy. I just like scroll through all of everyone's like fabulous Sims pictures and read my favorite Sims stories. So Tumblr is like very relaxing for me. And here we are with her nightwear. And again, like, this is cool girl. Like, she sleeps in like her little nightgown, which is like actually a cool t-shirt that someone will wear outside, but it's chill. Now, one thing about this, as I mentioned earlier, these Sims do not have a lot of money, and another way that I make my game probably more difficult than it needs to be is that all my Sims have to pay for their clothes because I just feel like it's unrealistic that I'm just like in CAS buying, you know, Sims Fendi, Gucci, all that stuff, and it's like no cost. So depending on the outfit, I kind of like estimate, and I might have told you this before, but just recapping for those that are new or don't remember, uh, I try to range like the outfits from like $250, like, or 250 simoleons for those like baby toddler Sims. To the adults, it could be like up to like $1,000 for their outfit, and I like subtract that. And so I think these Sims actually have to end up taking out another loan to pay for the aged up Sims clothing, which is another reason why I'm not doing extra outfits. So I like have my little tab on the side and I add it up and then I just subtract that from the Sims to make them more stressed out. Or for the super rich Sims, it's nothing. I love these Prada inspired boots, but I'm always like, at least for these Sims, they're a little expensive, but it's maybe I'll just think of them as dupes because I feel like it's a little hard to find knockoffs for, I mean, it's hard to like justify these expensive boots. So I'm just gonna say they're like Steve Madden version. Yeah, I think that's more what they like. And I just had to go back because I realized I forgot some things for the different outfits. I think I forgot their eyelashes. So of course I like my Sims to have eyelashes. Then I wasn't fond of those earrings, so I just like messed around with them a lot. But I don't think there's that much left for Nikki because yeah, I don't want to spend that much money. Like I'm getting really conscious about the spending for these Sims, and I'm gonna fix her lips. It's always so tricky with teens because I never want to give them like a lot of makeup, but I just think 14, you know, I feel like, or 13 to like 18 is such a range. And at least for these Sims, I know they're not gonna go back in CAS. So it's tricky. I don't know how you guys manage it. But I also want to show that Barbie got a job. Barbie Jr. got a job. So she's already on her hustle. And I picked retail employee for her because I feel like that fits her the most. Like I don't see her outside like doing manual labor. I also think she's not really fully knowledgeable about like all the entrepreneur ways to make money, or she's like very suspicious of it at this time. So she's very like by the books, like get a good job, move up the ranks, make money. Maybe she will learn a little bit about side hustles later, but as of right now, she's like, I'll just get a retail job and work at the store and make money that way. So I'm very excited for her to start making money. I did not separate the money out like with SNS Bank or the, what's it called? The piggy bank. I think it's a Ravasheen mod. I did not separate it out that way because I just felt like they're struggling. And I think Barbie is aware of that struggle and she does want to help out, or at least, I don't know if she wants to help out. I think she also is just kind of like, hey, if they're not doing well, I'm not doing well. So let's just like try to get these loans. I think she's aware that they have taken out a loan in Nikki's name. Lucky for Barbie Jr., they have not taken out a loan in her name, but there is a loan in Nikki's name as well. And, she's trying to get out of it. But on a lighter note, there was, I forgot what this day is called, Night on the Town. It was Night on the Town. And this was the first time Barbie and the family got to go out. Well, I think actually Barbie, the mom, Gen 1, stayed home with the boys. Sorry, I hit the mic. I hope that did not pick up. But they stayed home with the boys, and Barbie and Nikki got to go out with the dad and just have a nice moment. And I think Barbie Jr. loved this. Like, she's like, this is the life I want. And I think she's heard of Night on the Town Day, and it only comes around like every 5 years. And she's like, she's heard of it, but she's like, there are people that do this all the time, like who don't have to wait until it's like a free night to do stuff. They do this all the time. And she's just like, she's a little jealous that that's not her life, that this is like, oh, this is it. But she keeps telling herself, like one day I'm gonna make money and this is no worries. But Cameron and Nikki are just honestly happy to be here. They go out, they don't even eat much. Like, they had like nachos. I didn't show it because I was getting all kinds of errors, but they didn't eat much. They did some skating, they did some bowling, and they stayed out really, really late. But yeah, it was just nice for them to have that moment to themselves. It was kind of unfortunate that Barbie Gen 1 stayed home while they were doing that. And the positive of that is that she maxed out her parenting skill. So all the skills that Barbie needs to max out are completed. So yay, one thing down for Gen 1. Now I just got to get these kids together. And this house is so chaotic, like I can't even. But Nikki has learned to fix things to like help her dad. So I feel like, yeah, Nikki is very domestic and not just like a gender role domestic where she only like cooks and cleans and like helps with the kids. Like, she does all the house stuff. Like, she is very domestic, and hopefully that will lead to something more important later. And yeah, like, we're just like cleaning up. I feel like it's been snowing forever in my game. It's been a very long, arduous winter. But yeah, look, I can't with the Sims. I hate that they start running when it rains. And yeah, Cameron is off to work. All he does is work and just sleep, basically. It's, times are hard. So I don't know if I showed this in a previous episode, or I just skipped it because it wasn't that interesting. But Cameron has already aged up. I think I showed that in a previous episode. But now it is Barbie Gen 1's turn to age up to a full-on adult, which I feel like she really spent her whole young life doing this housework. And that's no judgment. I'm not judging Barbie's life. I don't know why Barbie Jr. looks shook, but I think they all feel different about sitting here for this birthday. They always do these simple birthdays, but I think Barbie is happy to, be an adult, be in her middle life. I feel like that fits her more. I feel like there were some expectations that like she would get out and do other things. Like her friend, the blonde lady, was always calling her like, "Hey, let's go out," and she was like, "I can't, girl. Like I have this whole life," and so she's hoping that like the world will catch up with the life that she wants to live. Um, but Barbie looks great for her age. And, I feel like she can achieve her goals before she's older. I know we still have to get a dog, but like, that's gonna be like the last thing because you just have to have one at some point, and like, that is probably gonna be the last thing. I don't know if it's just gonna be when the boys age up or what. But I actually realized this video is wrapping up. I'm running out of time, so we will talk more about pets and all that good stuff in the next episode. Let me know what you think. I'm symptomistic, like optimistic, make it Sims. Bye, some friends.